chairperson. My colleague Sophia Wanuna sat down with the judge and began by asking him about the viral video.
There are those videos circulating that have interest in the property. A gentleman by the name Mojirani, I know Mojirani, me I talk the truth, I've known him for about 8-10 years. That he was, how he got into the land, I don't know. But it's alleged that he's holding the title deed on my behalf. So when these issues, when I saw those videos circulating in July, I know who took the videos.
Who took the videos?
There is a gentleman by the name Jimmy Askar. He is the consulate of Nepal. Jimmy has been in Kenya for over 20 years. And when I was practicing, he used to come to my office for legal advice, doing 1 or 2 things for him. So sometimes, that same July, around that time, he called me. And he told me he had been given my number by an advocate. And he told me he's in a problem. So I asked him, what is the problem? He said, look, there are some properties some friends of mine are buying from the Middle East. And they are in Kenya. And the sellers are Honorable Nguvu Sonko, the governor or former governor, and one Mujirani. But he has realized that they were not telling him the truth. And his advocate had not discovered that there is an appeal pending before the Court of Appeal. And they wouldn't like to spend some money, and yet the appeal overturns what... So he asked me, as my former friend, can I come and see you? They have told me that you have told them never to set foot in your house. Maybe to take you back. On Mike Nguvu Sonko, I've known him for many years. He comes from Kwale. I've known his father. I know his aunt, Mama Momo.
Are you related?
His auntie, elder sister to his mom, was married to my late cousin, Chitembwe, and they have 2 children, May and Juma. May died. May was a lady. Juma is there. Up to now, I have Momo's number. I can call her and we talk. She calls me Shemegi. So Sonko would come to my place and say, Uncle, but not frequently. Not frequent, but the moment he had a court case, I told him, don't come. True to his promise, he never used to come.
But now on this matter of land,
yes,
there is an appeal.
Yes.
And they do not want to have this allegedly appeal go forward and overturned. So there's some money being put there.
Yes. Now, to go back to the matter, Jimmy wanted me to talk to him just like a friend. And he pleaded with me, can I come with these 2 gentlemen? Because I can see, to some extent, there might be loss of money and I will be accused. So out of goodwill, I told him, okay, you come with them.
And these 2 men being the former governor of Nairobi County, Mike Nguvu Sonko?
Mike Nguvu Sonko, he came with his man, I hear is called Peter. Mojirani came. I even asked Mojirani, when you were in Nairobi, he said, yeah, I've been here for 2 weeks. I've been living with the Mheshimiwa here. I didn't know. And Jimmy. So I highly suspect that it was Jimmy taking the videos because Sonko was on my left, Peter was ahead. I didn't invite them to my sitting room. I have a small room in my house. When the entrance, there are seats there. So we sat there. Mojirani was on my right. There was a lady with Jimmy. The lady was introduced as a student. So unknown to me, this was a setup. So later on, I have friends in many places. I was told whoever was wearing some goggles was the one taking pictures of you, and it was Jimmy.
Okay. So let's get a few things straight.
Yes.
On the first instance, and we'll come back to this when the governor is in your house, this man claims to be your brother. You said you've known him for a couple of years.
Yes.
And when he calls you and he's with this man dealing about this money, he says he's your guy and he's the person you have proposed to be the recipient of the money to bring over to you, to be the middleman. So what, to your understanding of this conversation, because we see what they're saying and a phone call is placed purportedly to you, so that phone call happened to you, correct?
No, Mwajirani would call. Why are you calling me? The same way Jimmy would call, but Jimmy never used to call me. He called me for once and asked me. So Mwajirani would say, you know, I've talked to the owners of the land, Jen has another gentleman who guides him, and we have agreed to sell this land. Sonko had signed an agreement with Jen. I have the agreements here for 35 million. So he would just, out of that excitement, and to me, Mwajirani had been recruited to implicate me. It's not that he had any money to bring to me. So the figures which are floated, 100 million, I was hearing those figures now there.
But why did he feel the need to call you? Because this is a matter you had handled.
Yes.
So definitely conflict of interest because it's on appeal.
Yes.
Why is he comfortable to call you to discuss this matter?
No, you are right to ask me that question.
Okay.
Just like a friend, will just say, you know, now he's excited. Mwajirani is not employed, is educated, but out of that excitement, that looks, you know me, I don't have, my family lives in a rented place, you know me, nobody's assisting me. So I don't know whether Sonko is genuine, he has called me, he wants to buy this land, something like that. We have been talking, not frequently, infrequently, but he was calling because Jimmy had been talking to him. And he knew I also know Jimmy. And Jimmy told Mwajirani, don't worry, I even know the judge. If you want to clarify as to what type of a man I am, talk to the judge.
So you're saying your involvement was to vouch for this business of Mike Sonko and this other man purportedly. It was simply that?
You know now, yes, simply that. And each one of them is presenting a picture of suspicion. And now they are using me just to vote for. Jimmy is using me to vote that on Sonko is genuine. Jimmy is using me to vote that Mwajirani is genuine. Mwajirani wants me to say if it's true, I've known Jimmy. Okay, to Mwajirani, it wasn't a big deal such that because the land, he told me, okay, I'm holding brief for the owner, so I don't want to be seen that I've thrown the property. So Mwajirani also, this Jimmy man, are you sure he's, you know him? I tell him I've known him for long.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Honorable Justice, do you not think in hindsight now to have gotten involved in a matter you handled,
yes,
rendered judgment,
yes,
and now on appeal,
yes,
and there are people seeking to, there's some transaction,
yes,
but to avert some loss of money according to them,
yes,
and they're dragging you into this. Do you see that those looking at the details you're giving tonight here on KTN News would wonder, why did you choose? Wouldn't you have best thing to say, deal with your business? I am an officer of the court. This could get murky as clearly is getting.
No, you know, initially, even the discussion on the case, all what they wanted was to vote that I know this man, go and deal with him. I know Mheshimiwa, go and deal with him. So now, you know this is a setup. You don't know. So if there are people calling you and talking, and even, you know, when somebody calls you and you are talking many things and he mentions it, then that is the part which is edited to continue the discussion. It's true that it was a matter I had handled. I knew it was, I had. I was not so sure it was on appeal, but I had. But when Jimmy called me, he was saying they had agreed to withdraw the appeal. And he wanted Sonko to confirm that the appeal will be withdrawn and now he can pay them. But there was no money to be paid. This was just to come and record me.
So you're saying categorically that
yes,
their claim made that this money was to you,
yes,
to facilitate whatever other ends these parties had,
yes,
is false?
There is no money that was to be paid to me. The 100 million was floated there. And you know now, the videos have been edited to the extent that Jimmy would say, in fact, for your information, they will say 300 million. We have an agreement for 300 million. The appellants had suggested they be paid 100 million. So when you mention 100 million, it's like you're interested in that 100 million. When we were there, the idea